back to my YouTube channel. My name is Doyinsola. If you're new here, welcome. Today we're going to be unlearning bad habits, but before we start, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, like the videos, share the videos with your friends and family, and let's get into it today, because this one is personal. Like, it's personal to my heart, it's dear to me. Today we're going to be talking about things not to say or do when someone dies. As much as there's no manual or there's no like set rules for how to grieve, the last thing you want to do is be somebody that compounds the problem of those already bereaved. You don't want to be that person. So without further ado, I'm going to get into it. The first thing you should not do, absolute no, is unless the family has made an official announcement of death, do not go on social media and post the picture of the dead person and say, "Oh, sorry for your loss, we will miss you, uncle." Save your eulogy. Don't do it. Don't be that person. Unless there's been an official announcement, don't do it. The reason is that families, when something happens, families take the time sometimes to strategize how to break the news to certain people. Let me give you an example. Say somebody dies and he has a daughter. The daughter is in school writing a final exams. She's one paper away from finishing, and the family decides that, okay, let's wait till after this one paper. The corpse is not going anywhere anyways. Let's wait till after this exam, let her come on, break the news to her and whatever. And then there's you with your coconut head. You go online, you post the picture, and you're like, oh, uncle, you were so nice, you were so kind, we'll miss you, whatever. How would you feel? Do you see the sense in that a child wakes up one morning, goes on Facebook, and the first thing she's seeing is that a father is dead? That's not a good way to find out that you just lost a loved one, and you do not want to be that person that breaks the news of the loss of a loved one to them that way. Trust me, they will remember you, and it's not in a good way. They will remember. The second thing not to do is, this one is for if it's been a while since the person died and you've not seen the family in a while. When you see them, it is not your place to say, why didn't you tell me that so and so died? So was it like a scholarship? Is it a new job? Why are we announcing to you that so and so died? Okay, now that you know, because you're saying that why didn't you tell me, that means you found out somehow. Now that you know, what can you do about it? Can you bring him back from the dead? That's what I thought. So powerless. And you're here saying, why didn't you tell me so and so died? When people are grieving, that's not the time. Like, you're not a priority. Telling you is not a priority, especially because you are neither the undertaker nor the priest that is going to officiate the service, nor the casket supplier. So telling you is what? In the face of their grief, your knowing it is not the priority on their mind. Like, telling A, B, C, and D that somebody died, it's not the priority. They are grieving. Somehow you shall found out, and now that you found out, why didn't you go and greet them? If you were that important to the family to start with, if you think you would have changed something, why didn't you go there? Garbage behavior. That's garbage behavior. Let's stop it. Let's be sensitive. Another thing is when people call and say, is it true? Is it true? My sister, it's not true. All of this was just a prank to bring people together because it's been a while that they saw you and they thought, how about we just play a little fast one on them? Because what kind of silly question is that? Is it true? You call the person, the actual owner of the matter. That's just a silly question. I'm not even going to dwell on it. Let's not do that. Another thing is when you go to visit someone that just lost like a loved one, you cannot go there and be asking that person that, how did it happen? This is especially for like in a Nigerian setting where when someone dies, a lot of people come to the house. You have like hundreds of people come to the house. Can you imagine this bereaved person having to narrate this same story to 150 people that come to visit? How did he die? This is what happened. Now you have to relive the moment, like go over and over. Like, it's emotionally tasking, especially because there's so many people around that you can ask. This is not one of those stories where you have to hear from the horse's mouth. There's no variation to the story of the death. The person died and the person died. Like, that's what happened. You don't have to know. If for some weird reason you want to know the specifics, ask all the other people standing around. You really do not need to ask the main owner of the story that, what happened? How did he die? How did it? Is dead. That's what happened. Like all this, tell me, you don't need it. Finally, the last one is I know this one can be a little hard because even just in life, when we're having conversations, sometimes when the conversations go quiet, we try to like put in word fillers because we're not okay with silence. But silence is absolutely fine. Like when you go to a place where they have just lost someone, if you don't know what to say, just zip it. You cannot be saying the first thing that comes to your mind. You cannot just be don't cry. How can you say don't cry? Like, I feel like, I don't even know if this is a Nigerian thing where people say don't cry because they see tears as a sign of weakness or whatever. Like, crying is an expression of grief. You cannot tell someone that just lost somebody not to cry. It does not make sense. At the end of the day, they're not going to cry for 24 hours. Even the tears or all the rolling on the floor, whatever it is, they will cry, they will have moments of rest, they will cry some more, they will have moments of rest. When you come and say, don't cry, don't let them see you cry, you really think that in the middle of grief, that person is concerned about some perceived enemies that you don't want to see you cry. And then you not say, oh, like, don't even be throwing out word fillers like, life will continue, you cannot kill yourself, eat your food. What do you mean by life will continue? First of all, the intention is not to kill themselves. But when you say things like life will move on, you think that the mere fact that the whole world is not stopping when you lose a loved one is not a sad thing. I remember losing someone dear to me, and the mere fact that the whole world did not stop was causing me grief. Like, how are people going about their business? How are people going to work when I just lost someone? Like, it's a moment where it's like the world is not stopping. So you reiterating to me that life goes on is not helpful, especially because it's still fresh. You cannot be telling people they have to move on, they have to. Stop rushing people's grief. Stop putting a timeline to their grief. Stop telling them it's time to move on for your children. It's time to move on for your family. It's time to move on for your. You think that just sitting down there, even in the moment of grief, they're not already thinking about next step. Please, guys, let's be sensitive. There are things you should not say. And when we say, I know that sometimes we mean well when we say things like, is in a better place. This person is in a better place now. Believe me, it's not a good thing to say. You do not want to tell someone grieving that this person is in a better place, because they already have all these convoluted thoughts, and they're already thinking, God, why is this happening to me? Especially because there's still that option of the person living a long, beautiful life with their children and still going to this better place. You want to tell, for example, a young widow that has children that will never know their father, that the husband is in a better place, and she will not ask you, where is the better place than right here beside her, raising his kids, facing the responsibility that he has left down for her. This is a realization that because grief is in stages, right? This is a point that she would still get to by herself. There's no point throwing out these words like he's in a better place or there's a reason. That's the one that I hate the most. Except you can, in that moment, look me in the eye and say, A, B, C is the reason why this has happened. There's already enough mystery. You see, there's already enough confusion with the death. You do not need to be adding extra layers of mystery of there's a higher reason, there's a higher power. What you're doing is just highlighting the fact that there's a higher power at play that just could have prevented this from happening but did not prevent it. If you don't know the higher reason, don't say it. People will come to that stage by themselves where they will say, oh, this happened for a reason, or this did not happen for a reason, or he's in a better place, or whatever it is. At the end of the day, you might not even be in a better place. So it's the truth. You don't have to be like, oh, this is it. Let's not do that. Let's be sensitive, guys. Like, a word in season, we have to always be mindful of our words. And even outside of the immediate family of the person that just died, even just telling people that you think are not close to the person, say church member, friends, you cannot just call somebody and say, hello, did you hear that XYZ died? You don't know how people deal with grief. You don't know how people how emotional they are. You don't know how people deal with information. Courtesy demands that you ask, where are you? What if the person is driving? What if he's crossing road? What if he's on bike? What if he's at work? You cannot just call somebody and be like, XYZ is dead. At the end of the day, there is no price for forced to break the news. They will not give you a word. This one you're doing, there's no price for it. So why are you, like, ask people, courtesy demands you ask, are you alone? Are you are you with friends? Are you at work? What are you doing? You have to actually, in your mind, you're thinking, oh, they were not that close. What if just generally, some people just do not do well with shocking news? let's do better. Like these are things that we should be conscious of, because as much as you think that you are in grief or you are shocked or you are just confused, we have to always remember to take a step back and think about people on the receiving end of this information, or even the families that are directly affected by your decision. It will not cost you anything to hold back on that picture that you want to post online, because at the end of the day, whether you post it, it does not increase or reduce your grief, especially because you're not directly affected. Like, let's just be more like intentional about the way we react to news or spread information. Or like, I was listening to something with my mom's friend that somebody got kidnapped. The family had not told anybody, and then we outside of the family we found out that there has been a kidnapping. The owner of the matter had not told anybody. You people are out here spreading. Let's be more sensitive about information, guys, especially because of the world of social media, where it's easier for things to travel. You may think you're just putting it in your circle of friends, but news spreads so fast, and sometimes the family is not ready to share this information with people. Thank you guys for stopping by my channel. Please let me know if you've experienced any of these things. If maybe you experienced a loss and someone said something that was untoward towards to you and you just found it not interesting. So please let me know in the comment section some other things that you think we should not say in the face of grief, and what are some things that you can say. In my opinion, you say, Don, you said all these things we should not say. Which one should we now say? If you don't know what to say, keep quiet, or just say, can I pray with you? If it's okay with the family, pray for strength for the family. Tell God, even in your presence, that God should give them the strength to be able to bear this, like strengthen them, or just tell them, I'm here for you. Like, if you need something, if you need someone to talk to, you can always call me. You can call me if you need some. Like, when you say things like, you can call me, or just sit down with them and say, if you need anything, I'll be right here. Just reassuring them, letting them know that in this time of grief, they are not by themselves. All this one they are going is in a better place. Let's not do that, okay, guys? Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I know I got really heated with this one because it's kind of personal to it's dear to me. Let's do better, guys. Thank you so much for stopping. Please do not forget to like my videos, share my videos, and just subscribe to my channel. Thank you. I'll see you all some other time. Bye.